Hi, everybody. It is Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert and Akashic Records advisor. How's everybody doing? Today is Tuesday, the 21st of 2021. And if you're into numbers, really, that's kind of funny because it's 12/21/2021. Anyway, hope everybody's doing great tonight. I know a lot of you are running around doing last minute shopping. And so, getting things ready, maybe cooking or cleaning, getting ready for people to come over. I know I have been doing a lot of those same things and have just been feeling super exhausted. That the energy shifts going up. It's a lot. So tonight, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what will be next, how do we know, and the power of now. So those are my 3 topics for tonight. And if anybody does have a question and you want to put it down here in the Facebook feed, we'll get to some questions here a little bit later tonight. Like I said, I know a lot of folks that I talked to earlier said they weren't going to be jumping on the live with me right away because there are so many different things and people trying to get rushed here and rushed there. So if you're watching me later, thank you. Hope you had a wonderful night and got everything done that you needed to do. I kind of did all my stuff last night. I got some cleaning and stuff to do when I get home this evening. So, it's a lot going on. Anyway, so I'd like to welcome everybody aboard and let's get busy with tonight's subject. So the first thing I'd like to talk to you about is what will be next. So right now we have the winter solstice, and the winter solstice started today, a little bit earlier in the day. And what does that mean? Well, that means that the planets are in alignment so that, we start, if you will, the winter time. So we're going to feel, sense, or know things just a little bit differently. And with the holidays, everybody's supposed to be happy and joyful. And, we put lights at your house and inside your house so that, we can stay more joyful, more happy, more centered, more balanced. And a lot of times this time of year, that's challenging to do. And so today I wanted to just share with you a little bit about, the solstice, because, it's a time of change. It's a time of reflection, and the Schumann's frequency, or the heartbeat of the earth, has been pretty steady, and we're not in the 5 hertz anymore. So we're not meditating, if you will, so much all day long. And we're feeling this release of our lives. Where are we in our lives? Where's our spiritual connection? What are we doing? So many folks are asking these questions. So if that's you, then you're in the right place. I'm glad that you came tonight. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about where we are in space and time. My guides had some things that they wanted me to share with you so that you can know what will be next. And how do you know? So what will be next is what's going to be coming up in 2022. And that's going to be more shifts towards spiritual balance in our lives. So if you're feeling kind of like, I don't know what to do anymore, it seems like there's always something coming up on the world scene, and I've been through enough, and I just want things to get back to normal, and you're very sensitive to other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, this is a time where the universe, God, spirit, or source is calling you to up level your game. So what will be next? Up leveling your game. What does that mean? What that means is, as a spiritual being in a physical body, in this time where we've had 2 planets lock us into the age of Aquarius, a malefic and a benefic. So we got the good guys and the bad guys, the yin and the yang, and a lot of social upheaval, a lot of tragic things happening around the world weather-wise. So it just seems like, a lot of people have asked me, is this the end of the world? Is this Armageddon? No, not yet. But what it is time for is every highly sensitive person, empath, or starseed If you haven't already started your journey to strengthen your gifts, answer your divine calling, then 2020 is your year to get on it. And I will offer classes. I actually have a 1-year academy, a spiritual awakening academy that's going on right now. I do have a mini class coming up. If you're like, well, I just want to kind of see what it's like, you can do that too. But it's very much a time when this universe is leveling up. Our spiritual selves are being drawn upward, and we have to drop a lot of things in the 3D world, a lot of things that didn't honor us. Just there's so much, if you will, crap that's happening at large, and we're watching it. And some of us are traumatized and have post-traumatic stress disorder and don't know how we're going to get through another day. Sometimes we don't even know what to do next. So that's what I'm sharing with you. To dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and get on with it for 2022. And you may say, Deanna, how do I do that? I am so exhausted that I don't even think I can. I'm having trouble with the holidays. I don't even want to, do anything. I understand that. I bought a little bitty tree this year to decorate, because that's a lot of energy to decorate and put on the smiles and everything, and then when it's all done you got to tear it down and put it away. That's a lot of physical energy. So again, drink lots of water. I talked about that in my last video. So I'm going to share the screen here just a moment. It takes me a minute to push all the buttons. And I want to show you a couple things that can help you if you are so inclined to do so. And so let's see here. Let me get this up for you. Not going to bring up Schumann's tonight. We really don't need to look at that. But I'm going to show you what's available to help you out if you're seeking to be helped, if that's what your desired outcome is. If you're like, I've got to get something going. Like I said, so many buttons to push. If you have any questions, put them down in the feed, and I will look at those here in just a little bit. So if you're just joining us, thank you very much. I know a lot of people are getting last minute shopping, cooking, cleaning, and stuff done, but it is important to get together. So that's why I'm here. All right. And I am a little exhausted, lots going on, teenager at home, trying to keep things rocking in the right direction, just lots of stuff going on, energies, emotions, triggers, all kinds of things. All right, well, let me go ahead and share the screen. I want to show you a couple of things that are available to you. So the first thing I want to show you, in case you're one of those highly sensitive people, starseeds, empaths, and you should be taking action right now, but you're not sure what to do. You may have been trained in Reiki. You may have been trained in other healing modalities and stones and crystals and, all kinds of things, but you're still going, wow, I don't know what to do. And again, I'm talking about what will be next. Well, in 2022, that's when God's Spirit or Source is really up-leveling the game for those of you that are spiritually awake, starseeds, empaths, highly sensitive people. And that's been going on for a while, more steadily. But I'd like for you to think about an escalator. And there comes that point, if you put your foot on the escalator and it's going up, that you got to bring that other foot up. And that's what 2022 is going to be about. Are you on board or not? So anyway, what I have, oops, the date's wrong on the top there. I gotta fix that. I was fixing this stuff before it came on. The Spiritual Awakening Academy mini. So basically it's a mini, there's the dates are right down there. It's January 29th, 2022. So I'm going to give you some time to sink into January. But the Spiritual Awakening Mini Academy is there for those of you that would like to have something so that you can find out more about who you are, where you are in the world, and your placement. So I'm going to teach what's an empath, what's a highly sensitive person, or what's a starseed. On the second day, I'm going to teach you to clear and shield your personal energy and to take control of it. A lot of you have been like, oh, Deanna, I can't seem to, block out so-and-so and they're always hooking into me and stuff like that. Well, this is for you. Day 3 is to anchor and understand the high-pitched whine frequency. So if you've been hearing that high-pitched whine in your ear, that frequency, the tinnitus or tinnitus and that ringing, there is actually information in there. There's upgrades, there's downloads, there's all kinds of things. So if that interests you, we'll be covering that. And then day 4, my specialty, the Akashic Records, and we're going to be tapping into the Akashic Records, the different timelines that we live and exist on all at the same time. What does that mean? How does it affect your health, and how can you take your power back? So if that's something that you're looking for, I believe the price on this class is like $36, and it's 4 nights that we're going to be getting together in a row, and it will be recorded in case that you miss it. So if you're looking for a Christmas gift inexpensive to buy yourself, there you go. It's open for registration now. You can sign up, and then I will send out about a week before the classes, I'll send out the Zoom link. So if that's something you want, there's also a little video on there so you can check that out. All right, now let's get on with it. And I do, like I said, I do have several tools that I'm going to be offering to help you all out, because you know I love each and every one of you. And again, a lot of us are just exhausted and, you know, kind of having that post-traumatic stress disorder from COVID hitting, and last year with the holidays. Now here comes another round of it, and we're just kind of like, and we don't know what to do next. But we do have hopes and dreams, and some of us are working towards retirement and planning that. Some of us are deciding if we're going to have kids or not. You know, is that something I really want to do in this world? Or maybe you're looking for that ideal someone, but like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't. You know, there's just so much going on. So I'd like to talk to you about, how do you know what's next? How do you know what to do? So that's in your heart. So if you feel led to do something, if you feel led to, you know, I felt led to start the Spiritual Awakening Academy. So I did, and I loved it, and I'm still loving it. And I've stretched it out to a year so that I could support more of you and get you rocking and rolling and understanding who you are in space and time. And that's my heart. That's what I'm following. So it was challenging, because I'm looking at the COVID world, or post-COVID world, as I like to call it. And I'm like, well, I'm looking at all this stuff happening. Prices are going up everywhere. Rents are doubling, you know, all kinds of crazy nonsense stuff. And I thought, well, do I really want to put on an academy? Will anybody show up? You know, is it the right thing to do? You know, those kind of doubt, that fear and doubt that goes on in your head. And then I realized what my heart was telling me, what God's Spirit or Source was telling me, was go for it. And it's going to be challenging at the beginning. You're going to have some issues that you'll work through, but you're going to be fine. If that's where your heart is, do it. And people that are desiring that will come. They will find you. And so I started it. So my question is, what is your heart's desire? You know, how do you know what's in your heart? Are you connected to your heart? Do you have something that you really would like to do? Don't let anything stop you. Don't let anyone squash your dreams. Please don't let the voices in your head go, well, you can't do that because block. And I find that sometimes in my head too. There's always blocks of reasons why you can't get it done. Excuse after excuse after excuse, because you really don't want to do it. So that's not what's in your heart. But if it is, then let's get together and work on those things together, so that I can show you how to take the blocks out and you can get going on whatever your big dream is. So I'm going to share the screen one more time, and I'm going to show you what that looks like, and then we're going to move on. So again, if you have any questions, so far everybody must just kind of be on overdrive, because I don't see any questions in my feed down here. So maybe everybody's recovering from comatose of too much cleaning, too much shopping, too much wrapping. Anyway, so I'll look at the questions in a minute. So the next thing I would like to show you on my website, toolsofenergyprotection.com, is we're going to talk about how to awaken the power of your new story now. And I can already see I've got a little work to do on my photo there. Look, I got to read that sideways. Sorry. So many things to do. Anyway, so awakening the new power of the story of your new power now. If you look down here at the very bottom, the date for that is January 8th, 2022. Now, this is something that I usually start right at the beginning of New Year's, because people have New Year's Day off and they want to get started and blah, blah, blah. What I've found is most people intend to start their New Year's resolution on New Year's, and they don't actually get around to it until about the first week into the new year. So that's what we're going to be doing, getting together so that we can find out, what it is that you would like to do, and give you that energy and that knowledge and that wisdom, so that as you face the blocks, or maybe you're like, oh, my New Year's resolution is to eat healthier. I don't want to eat out so much anymore. And what you find is that, you go to the store, you get the stuff, you put it in the refrigerator, and then you don't make it and you go out and eat instead. Maybe your new motion is to find somebody to be a companion. And you've tried this and you've tried that. And you're just like, oh, this doesn't work. And, I can't seem to do this when I meet somebody, or I'm always bringing this kind of person into my life. That too, we can work on with this simple with this simple system that I have for awakening the power of your new story now. And you can do it. It is your innate ability to create more than you're actually aware of. It's absolutely amazing how much you can create simply by the power of your mind and going forward. So we'll cover that in there. And for those of you that are struggling with health challenges, you can also use this in your health challenges to awaken, the power of your new story of being healthier. So if you want to join me, that'll be I think it's 8th of January. It's January 8th at 7 o'clock. And it'll take us about an hour and a half. So if that's something that you want to jump on board with, I would love to have you come. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing there, and then we're going to get on with what I was talking about. All right. So I'm going to look and see if we have any questions in the feed. Then I'm going to talk about a little bit more about the solstice and what that means to you, what energies you can get up underneath yourself, and channel a little bit from my guides. All right, so Frankie, nice to have you aboard. Good to see you. Shannon, thank you for coming on. Paul, nice to see you. Heidi, nice to see you. And Rex, it's good to see you. Heidi says, Barb, my Christmas present. Oh, good. Oh, yes, that reminds me. Thank you, Heidi, for saying that. I did sell quite a few of the gift certificates, and getting them in the mail before Christmas, is going to be a little tough now. I will be down at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver. That's down by the old Lakeside Park. And I am taking the last few gift certificates that I have, and they're in nice little bags, and they come with an ornament. And I'm going to take those to the bookstore with me tomorrow, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you're like, ooh, I want to purchase a reading for a friend of mine and I haven't done it yet, then come on down, and then you'll get a gift certificate filled out for the person, and then you'll get a nice little gift bag to give it in. Now, I do have a couple of you that live in Colorado Springs, and some people that live on the East Coast that have been working with me, and they're like, ooh, I'd love to get one. However, I can't come to the store. So if that's your case, reach out to me, go over to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on the About section. Just click on About, the word itself, and underneath there, you're going to find ways to reach out to me. I think my email's even on there. You can get a hold of me and tell me how many certificates you want to buy for how long. It's hour, half hour, that kind of thing. And then I will absolutely help you. I'm looking right quick. Yes, actually, yes, you can find my email there. And then that way you can get yourself or your friends, if you want to get one for yourself, a gift of a reading, energy clearing, healing. So anyway, like I said, I've been doing lots of stuff and a little exhausted myself, so please forgive me. All right, Wendy. Hey, Wendy, good to see you. I hope we get together soon. I know our time difference makes it a little challenging. And next, Heidi said, I will ask my dad if he will go down. He lives in Denver. Nice, Heidi. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Okay, so again, we're talking about the solstice today. We're talking about what does that do? What that does is that shifts or locks in energies, going forward to the winter time. And winter generally, are times that plants, especially trees, will rest, or seeds are laying dormant, waiting to grow. And then when it starts to become spring, they take off and they grow. So my question to you is, what's happening in your life that's keeping you from growing? This is a time to reflect. What are you afraid of? What's the big thing stopping you from going forward and truly doing what your heart desires? Is there anything in particular? I'd like to read to you a testimonial that I received from a client, and she was having, I think they call it SAD. It's something seasonal something depression. I don't remember all of it, but she was really having a hard time. She came into the store and she was looking for something to make her feel better down at the For Heaven's Sakes books. And I struck up a little conversation with her and I said, hey, let's go clear your energies, clear energies out of the energy field. And she said, sure. And we did. And later she said, Deanna, I want to thank you for helping me to feel like there's hope again. I came into the store last week looking for something to make me feel better. I was tired, exhausted, and I had no desire to do anything. During our session, you touched on exactly what was in my heart. It was like talking to a good friend. I felt the heaviness leave my chest. I felt so much better. Thank you. So that is an amazing, thing that people experience once they have an energy clearing. It's like that heavy weight that they've been carrying is pushed out of their energy field, and it allows love or peace to come back to them. And I'm also going to be doing at the store, especially tomorrow, because my schedule's a little bit lighter. I still have openings tomorrow. There's I think one left on Friday and two left on Thursday. And yes, I'm going to be there Christmas Eve. So I'm there every day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I know a lot of you are hurting and depressed and anxious and looking for help. So reach out to me there at the bookstore. Their number is 303-964-9339. That's 303-964-9339 For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver. Just give them a call. Tell them you'd like to get on my schedule. Now, I am doing something called a candy cane reading. So I thought that was kind of cute, but it's not candy cane like, sugar. But it's a 20-minute reading. And usually the least amount of time I'll work with somebody is half an hour. And there was quite a few folks that said they just need their energy brushed up. They just wanted to pop in and, clear it out, or maybe get a little short reading for what the new year, so they have some hope. So I'll be doing those. Those are 20-minute readings. Candy cane readings is what I'm calling them. So if you want to get on that, call the store. Make sure that you tell them you want a 20-minute reading and get on my book. All right, one more thing. So the other thing is, if you have somebody in your life that you've lost, a lot of folks have reached out to me, and they've lost a loved one, and they especially miss them at the holidays. So sometimes they pass around the holidays. Other times it may be the first holiday without them, and their heart is hurting, and they miss seeing that person, hugging that person, maybe, smelling their perfume or something. So if that's you, then I encourage you to reach out either to me on my private webpage or at the store to book a session, because the reason that I do mediumships is because it really does help people to, to feel connected to their loved one, even though the loved ones are usually right there most of the time. And I worked with a gal last week, and she had this to say. She said, A friend recommended that I call you. She says, I want to thank you so much for our session yesterday. I lost my husband 7 years ago and still find the holidays to be the hardest times. Not only did you help him talk to me, but you helped him to find a way back to God because we crossed him over. He hadn't crossed over yet. If not, he would have still been stuck on the earthly plane, and it has appeared often in my pictures as a small orb. I had no idea he was still here. Thank you for helping him to have the best Christmas present ever in return to our Lord and Savior. So I thought that was extremely touching testimonial, and I was very glad to help that lady. It's just amazing. Anyway, so next year we're going to up-level the game with our spiritual connection with God's Spirit or Source. And for those of you that are kind of on the fence and you're like, I don't know, been ignoring your gifts, or they're stirring up inside of you and you don't know what to do, then go ahead and go over to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on the mini academy and get yourself registered. So anyway, I'm going to see if I have any more questions. I know it's kind of brief tonight. And I am a little bit tired. In case you notice, I'm not my normal spitfire self. Just lots going on. Kiddos are not in school, and you got a million things you're trying to get done. Well, maybe 500,000, right? All right, let's go. Let's see if there's any other questions. Let's see. Hi to Barb and hi to Missy. Okay. Well, I don't see any more questions, so I appreciate everybody's time, and I will see you next Tuesday, but it'll be after the holidays. So if you are so inclined, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I believe it's Happy Hanukkah. Sorry, I lost track of that date. And everybody just have a great, wonderful, and safe holiday. Do what makes your heart sing, and make sure that you reach out to those that may not have anybody to be with this holiday season, because we often get so busy in our own lives that we don't take the time to think about our friends who may be alone or perhaps elderly and can't get out. So make sure that you take the time to reach out and let people know that you care about them, even if it's only a quick phone call. Okay, so happy holidays, and I will see you again. I'll be at the bookstore tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you're in need of that energy shift or mediumship, or just want to feel better, then we can do it by Zoom platform, where I can see you in person. We can do it by phone, or you can actually come in the store. So happy holidays, everybody, and I'll see you soon.